So the Johnny Depp trial is over. We are waiting for verdicts, and I'm, kind of fiending, I guess, for my usual daily content of all things crazy court chaotic today. And also, it's raining, and that sucks because it's Memorial Day weekend. And so I'm, kind of bummed and wearing sweatpants and all the things today. And that's going to have to be, good enough for what we are doing today because I don't feel like getting dressed. That's it. I'm going to tell you what we are making in just a minute, but before I do, hello, I am Mrs. Soap and Clay. Let's make stuff. How's it going, Sudsers? Welcome back to the channel. You are at Soap and Clay, where we make all the soapy things, and you are here for day 283 of 365 days of soap, and today we are doing the third of the lavender soaps. And today we are using, I think, lavender and spring apricot from Sierra Candles. I've used this before, but told you that I wanted to play with it again on its own because it's delightful, and before I had mixed it with like a rose to make it rose-esque for some of the other soap for the summer. You get it. And so that's what we are doing. We are going to do a standalone and still play with the kind of faux funnel thing, trying to get like the lamination, but we're going to pour it even more differently than we have the first two times around. So let's get to the video. You can see what colors I use and really how I fared. Why, yes, that was my light showing in the corner of the face fitted, and that's just what it is. Also, yes, this is lavender and spring apricot, the third of 4 lavender-esque soaps for the summer line, using the same kind of faux funnel-esque, pour type thing, just in different ways, i.e. putting it into the Pyrex or building the faux directly into the mold, as well as different placements of where we pour all of those things. So, with the first one, I built a faux funnel in the Pyrex with a rather thin batter and then poured it on the far end of a soap mold. For the second, I built the faux funnel within the mold itself, still pouring everything on the far end of the soap mold. This time around, I am going to, I think, build everything in the Pyrex. No, I'm actually lying. I'm going to build everything in the mold, but I am going to choose the center point of the mold as my pouring spot for all of the actual, faux funnel things to see if we get better lamination. For the colors, we are using Lala from Mad Micas, Goldfinger, also from Mad Micas, and Key West Blue, also from Mad Micas. Now, the only thing that really stays the same in all of this, because obviously the colors change and the way we're making the pour changes, and, so does the scent. The only thing that really stays the same is this is a 3-color pour, and the soap batter is split equally, eyeballing, but that's pretty damn equal. Look at that, between the 3 colors. Now, I've played around with the idea, and I don't remember if I did it for this, so I guess we're going to find out, of changing up the count of the pour itself. And so, you know, count to 4, change color, count to 4, change color, etc. and so forth. This might be the one where I decide to mix it up a little bit and pour like a 2 count and then whatever. So I don't know. Let's go to this pour. The colors or the scents are being mixed in right now, but let's go to the pour and find out together. Okay, and let's see what I do here. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. And 1, 2. Okay. So I've got a 2 count for the blue. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Do I go back to the blue? I do. So this is the one. So it's a 4 count for the yellow and the gold and a 2 count for the blue, but every other layer is blue. So that's fun. Pay attention to that while you're not paying attention to my dirty liners, which is a very strange thing. Like every once in a while I get comments on videos going, oh, it's weird and gross that you reuse liners. A, shut up and go to a different channel because I'm not having that here. Because 2, I really do like the whole, you know, lessened waste movement that comes along with making soap. And so, C, I reuse the shit out of my liners until they absolutely fall apart because, you know, 4, it sucks to line a mold. Now, I have given you videos showing you how to not only make a mold, but also line a mold in the past. And this is actually one of the molds that I have, that we made for that, well, one of the videos that we did this for. And, yeah, it's not fun. It's not the most fun to line a mold at all. And also, butcher paper is expensive. And also, I feel like a piece of trash just ripping that off of my soap and throwing it in the garbage. And so, yeah, no, I totally do reuse my liners over and over again until they have fallen apart. And that's not weird. There's no like cross-contamination or some such nonsense because it's all freaking soap. Granted, I guess if you were like trying to serve multiple markets, like this is like my vegan soap line and this is my animal fat soap line and you know whatever, then you might have some issues, maybe. And so in those cases, I would be like, well, this is the only liner that I use for these. You get it. But for me, all of my soaps are vegan and I don't deal with any sort of nut oils or anything else. Not that that comes through in like the dregs of final finished soap products, you know, whatever. Anyway, so, you know, whatever. Yes, I do reuse my liners. I feel like it's more responsible for the environment to do so. And so that's what I do. You don't have to do it that way. That's fine. But also, there's literally nothing wrong with this. It's not like whatever. It's soap. It's all soap. So chill. But anyway, this is what I am doing. I have decided to alternate between the, like I said, every other layer is blue. So, and therefore, because I split this into 3 equal parts, the blue layer gets a shorter count. So 2 count for the blue, 4 count for the yellow and the gold. And isn't it fun watching that all get built within the mold there? Chose the middle part just because I hadn't done it in the middle yet. And I already basically know what it looks like pouring from the far edge because I did that yesterday. So we're choosing a different one. I do know I have a bar of soap or a soap that I make, really, really often for a drop in the ocean. And wait, no, it's not a drop in the ocean. It's, it was my Clean Joy soap when I was doing the Game of Soaps, the Game of Thrones stuff. And I would do a 5-color faux funnel that was always in the pot. but I would pour it into the middle of the mold, and it produced the most gorgeous bars of soap that looked like waves with these 5 different colors. It was a salt bar, very delightful. I've done it on the channel, but when Game of Soaps was in its heyday, which obviously, as you can imagine, they're not anymore because Game of Thrones has not been on, television for a while, and also the last season made people mad. So we don't even do Game of Soaps anymore. But when it was in its heyday, I was making a crap ton of these Clean Joy bars for the Greyjoy line. And I quite wanted to see sort of what it looked like on the sides with wet soap or whatever. And so Mr. Soap and Clay made me a beautiful acrylic mold, completely made out of, acrylic with fast releases on all the sides. Because when you pour into acrylic, it actually does make it kind of complicated to release your soap from the mold. That's not fun. And I've never been one to add sodium lactate to help out with that, or to, prep my mold with something. I've never done that. And so I just wanted some fast releases so I could essentially just rip the mold away from the soap. And so he did that. Really beautiful mold. So I got to see the side pieces of all of this. So if you guys have an acrylic mold, I guess is the point, this would be a really beautiful soap to pour into said mold, and also take pictures of all of the sides, because you get to see the gorgeous wavy type pattern that exists all around while the soap is still really wet. And it's a different experience. Wet Soap Wednesday is a thing for a reason, because the top of a freshly poured batch of soap looks quite a bit different than the top of a 12-hour solidified batch of soap. So that's all. And for the rest of this, I did cut that portion out of me just scraping all the stuff in, and don't pay attention to how dirty my counter is. But that's what you're going to get when you're dealing with, making an in the mold swirl, because reasons. And this will be put into the oven for C-pop and gel. And let's go cut this thing because I want to see what it looks like inside. Okay, so now on to the cut, and as I said, this has been C-popped and gelled. C-pop means cold process, oven process, which means I took this whole batch of soap, put it in the oven on low, and just let that bad boy sit in the nice warm awesomeness to saponify. It cuts down on saponification time. It means you can unmold faster, and also it keeps the beautiful, vibrant, awesome colors that we know and love. And isn't that fun? That's super interesting. You definitely see all the lamination between all of those, but also you almost see them in stages. Do you see that from the bottom to the top? Very interesting stages there. I'm not mad at that. That's kind of cute. Now, granted, I have been saying throughout this entire series that that's beautiful, that the good way to really cut a bar of soap that you're making like this is going to be kind of an annoying cut. And it's stunning. And I've shown you the right way to cut, say, a wood grain or a faux funnel or whatever, if you really want to showcase the very beautiful lines throughout. And that way really is chunking out your loaf of soap into, say, 3-inch, chunks. And then instead of cutting it from the top down, you're essentially cutting it the top off of it and then the bottom off of it to yield 3 bars, but cutting it on the horizontal instead of the vertical. So that's an option too. But as we can see with this, it still produces a really pretty bar of soap without you having to go through the extra process of cutting it an annoying way. And I don't hate that. That's pretty cool. In fact, I think that might be one of my favorites in this line so far. I think it actually is my favorite. Also, that lavender and spring apricot smells delightful. It is so strong and so beautiful. And there they are, the third of the lavender bars for the summer line. And yeah, I like it. I really like it a lot. Mr. Soap and Clay actually back in the day made me this really cool clear mold. And it was awesome because I got to see soaps particularly like this on the sides, while it was still wet soap batter. So beautiful. I broke that mold though, because, acrylic and plastic, they break too. But yeah, no, I like these ones quite a bit for sure. So that's definitely a fun way to pour, whatever it is that I'm trying to do. The colors also not at all what you would expect with, a lavender blend. But like I said, with all of these, the lavenders with this, they're very unexpected as well. So I love it. I hope you guys had fun today. I hope you guys have better weather or are finding other cool things to watch and, kind of occupy your time on this, for me, rainy Saturday on Memorial Weekend. I'm very upset about that, but whatever. Maybe tomorrow we get good weather. If you are interested in seeing what we do for the rest of the thing, do the YouTube things, like, subscribe, all the jazz. For those of you who have done all those things, hey Sudzers, you are all of the jazz. You are absolutely everything, and I'm so glad that you joined me today for another round of 365 days of soap. I'm out of here, but I will see you guys all again tomorrow for another round of soapy fun. Bye.